Hello, this is Julie. Today I'm going to show you how to make text curve around a shape. We had a question from one of our group members to show how this was done. So I'm going to use Make the Cut for this because I find it's very easy and efficient. First thing I'm going to do is add a circle for the shape. I click on the basic shapes icon at the top center toolbar, and when the window opens I type in CI to find the circle. So I'll double click the circle to add it to my virtual mat. Now I'd like to change the size of that circle, so I switch to the main toolbar on the right side of the screen to virtual mat. And I'm going to change the screen to contrast, to green. It was on contrast. That makes the shapes transparent so I can see through them. I'm going to change the size of this circle with the gold lock icon on, and I want to change the circle to 3 inches because that's the size we need for our particular project. You could make it any size that you would like. I'm just going to center it on this screen by lining up the plus that's in the middle of the shape with the center of the grid and zoom in pretty close. It's very helpful to zoom in to see more details. And now I need to select the font. This is going to be cut out of vinyl, so I want a good thick font. I find the Cooper Black is great. If you don't want that font, you can click on the little down arrow and type the first letter of the font you're looking for. It will skip to that, and you can look through the fonts to see what you would like. So I'm using Cooper Black, and then I'm going to click on the T on the right and add my text in capital letters. Wrapping and keeping everything neatly aligned is easier with capital letters. So this is the text that she wanted, and I'm going to just select Accept. Now when I have this text automatically selected, you can see the width is 18 inches plus wide, and that's really too wide for my project. My circle is 3 inches, so in the width I'm just going to type in 3 and press enter so that my text is made about the same width as the circle. But the text isn't very tall. You can make the text as tall or as wide as you need for your project. I've got it right now at 1/4 of an inch. It's still pretty small. Maybe 1/3 of an inch would be a little bit better. It depends on how much room you have to use for this. Now these letters are also really close together, and as they curve they may overlap some. So to change that, I'm going to click on this arrow, the straight red arrow, hold the Control key and drag to put a little more space between those letters so that it'll wrap a little bit better. The other thing that you notice here is each letter is separated from the other by, and you could tell because there's little gray bounding boxes around each letter. If you don't have that, and let's say it looks like this, so that if they're all joined, then you need to go down to the bottom toolbar and click on the 5th icon from the left, which is split, to make sure that each letter is split from the other. Now the next thing I need to do, if I want to wrap the text around the top all with the tops of the letters pointing outward, I would use it as is, but I would like these letters to be right side up at the bottom. Now to show you what I mean, I'm going to hold a Control key and not do anything to this text to show you how it wraps. While I hold a Control, I'll drag it over the circle and let go of the Control key and the mouse key, and the text wraps. You'll see that text on the bottom is upside down. Now to get it right side up, or get it to the top, I would move this top offset slider until I get it in the position that I want. Now, first of all, I see that the letters are still kind of close. I could change the spacing here, but I don't like changing it there as much as I would like to change it before I get it on here. So I'm going to just cancel this because I want the text to be on the bottom, not on the top. And as you see, if I move it around, it's upside down at the bottom, and I also don't want it upside down. So I'm just going to cancel this, and I'm going to stretch this out just a little bit more. And now I'm going to use the second and third icons on the bottom toolbar, second and third from the left. This is mirror, so I'm going to mirror and I'm going to flip. And this is what you do, mirror and flip, for any of the text that you want to be right side up at the bottom. So now I'm going to hold a control key and drag the text until my cursor changes to a square, circle, and triangle. You can see it right below the letter E on the right. Now I'm going to let go of the mouse and the control key, and the window will open to wrap objects to path. And that window opens. You'll see that cursor change each time that you do that drag over a shape. You have to drag your text over the shape before that cursor will change, and the control key has to be down. Now you see that this E is higher than this E, so what I'm going to do is first change the spacing, because still the letters are just overlapping a little bit too much. And once you have the spacing the way you want it, then you can change the offset just by moving this slider. Now you can move this slider with your mouse. And once you get it close, you might want to use your arrow keys, right and left arrow keys on your keyboard, to do very fine adjustments until those E's are just about the same height on this side and this side. You can also change the vertical alignment. I think I'd like these letters a little closer to the circle. You can change your alignment to make them way inside, or you can move them outside or on the line, wherever you want for your particular project. In this project, I don't need the circle, it's just a guide. But I'm going to move my letters with a vertical alignment so that they're pretty close to the outline. Now I think it looks pretty much like I want it to. I'm going to click on Accept, and there are my letters. Now if I'm cutting these out of vinyl, I might like to have these have a weeding line to make it easier to cut these out, because if you cut them out of a big piece of vinyl and you have to remove all the vinyl except the letters that you want to use with your transfer tape. So I find it's easier to add a shadow, which is the fourth icon from the right, and I just did about 1/4 inch shadow around the whole thing. That'll give me good weeding lines, and I'll accept that. So now I have my text. Now I can hide that shadow, and I'll hide the circle so you can see what these letters are going to look like. I can join them now using the join icon. It's a center icon on the bottom toolbar, so I can see that. I can even look at it using my contrast mat so I can get an idea how that's going to look. Now if I'm satisfied with the way that looks, I can cut to any of my cutters that have plugins for Make the Cut, or if I want to use another cutter, I go to File, Export, and this is with everything selected. File, Export, Selection to SVG files. And I'm going to name that East Coast Lifestyle 1, I'll call it, and save. Now I can import that into any software that allows me to use SVG files. Well, my friend wants to use it in the InView software, so what I'm going to do is open up a page in there, go to File, Open, Open File, go to my desktop where I saved that file, and look for East Coast Lifestyle 1 SVG and open it. I use the 90 recommended for DPI, so it comes in exactly the right size, and there we have our design in text. Now I forgot when I was in Make the Cut to select the shadow, so if I want the shadow I can change the color just so I can see it a little bit better. Let's make the shadow maybe gold, and we'll make the text blue. Now I'm going to select all of it, and we will export again, selection to SVG, and we'll call this East Coast Lifestyle, and I'll make this number 2. This last time I didn't get the weeding lines, so now I want to try opening again. Go to File, Open File, and East Coast Lifestyle 2, and open. Use the 90 DPI as recommended and continue. And now you see not only did the text come in, but the colors of the weeding lines and the letters came in. Now the only change I would need to do is changing the colors of the lines to match. Change fill color to pen color. That's what I want, because Make the Cut uses all black pen lines. So if I filled these with different colors, so I can change the fill color to pen color, and it basically changed all of them to white, which I didn't want, but I can change them all to black again. Right click and left click changes color, and I'm going to ungroup that. That was the problem. They were all grouped, and I need not to have them grouped in order to change the colors. So I'm going to make this outline here, maybe yellow, left and right, and then I'm going to right click and arrange it to move to back. Now the letters, I could keep them black because they're different now from the weeding lines, but I'll left click on blue and right click on blue, and now when I go to the cutting window I can select either blue lines or yellow lines, or leave them both selected. At least I know now which ones are cutting lines and which for the text, and which ones are cutting lines for the weeding lines. I could have left them all as they were when I brought them in, and it would have worked. So this gives you options if you have a multicolor design that you want to bring in from an SVG file. Now if we're using other software such as Cricut Design Space, this file is just as easily brought in there. And we can go to Cricut Design Space. It's free software online, and sign in. And once you're logged in, you should be able to go to the Design Space, create a new project, and go to Upload Images, and we'll do a vector upload and browse for the image. So I'm going to go to my desktop and look for East Coast Lifestyle 2, open, save, and now I can click on the box that has my design and insert images. And there's my design ready to cut. It's on 2 layers, so you can cut one at a time or you can cut them both. And there we have it. Now you can curve any text you want around any shape, but doing a circle is the one I use the most, and I hope this has been helpful for you. Thanks for watching.